For Vatang versus 11 Original.
Vatang is a veteran squad. They were in last year's World Finals and they fell to none other than the tournament champions, Nova Esports. They'll be back at it again this time around as the second seed, and that means that they go up against a wildcard squad from 11 Original. Now, in all three of the past matches, last year and this year, the wildcard squad has fallen in this early matchup. Will that continue to hold this time around? Eve Kale for 11 Original will be the first to hit with 11 drags, mass strike here with 6 lightning spells and a couple of earthquakes to zap through some defenses up in the top corner. Looks like he's going to grab a scatter shot and an air sweeper.
Very nicely takes out that entire compartment. And just to quickly touch on what you were saying, Woody, 11 Original really have got a lot of talent. They were in 3 of our qualifiers, but unfortunately only made it to the semi-finals. Is that an advantage coming in as underdogs? We will have to find out, as Eve Kale has a very confident start here, taking out the left side, the right side with the Royal Champion, and she's still going. She might have a chance of that scatter shot as well.
Yeah, I feel like they underperformed a bit during the monthly qualifiers, but they certainly got the support of the community, picking up #1 spot in that vote to advance on. Eve Kale is going to go straight to the heart of this base early on, trying to grab that Town Hall with a really spread out dragon attack. Only a few of them are getting the benefit from that Grand Warden aura, but wow, he has taken a lot of damage early on. Eve Kale has got to be careful about Splash taking him down. Holding on to the Eternal Tome, he pops it right before the Town Hall goes down for the first star to claim.
He has got to be worried because there is a multi-target Inferno now in a very dangerous area where the dragons have to get through Expos. Fortunately, the Grand Warden's ability was popped, but they are not necessarily getting to that multi quickly. It will finally go down. Tornado Trap is fortunately up to the top area of your screen, but the dragons are falling quickly, and there's still a lot of base, Woody.
That is just not enough firepower. Archer Queen falls to that multi-target Inferno in the left side corner, and that is going to be another brick in the wall that Eve Kale just could not tear down in time. The central core of this base has held strong, and key arrows from Vatang will get the successful defense. That Eagle Artillery still firing away at that topside dragon. Will find a lot of cleanup along the top edge, but I just think there's too much to handle remaining on this base. That left corner air defense might just be the last remaining defense, but ought to be enough to hold off Eve Kale.
Yeah, there are a lot of buildings before the dragons even get to the air defense, and there are a lot of hit points on them as well. The Eagle has a lot of health, the Dark Elixir storage, the multi-inferno. Dragons would have to get through all of that before they got to the air defense, so not the start that 11 Original would have wanted, but it is a decent percentage, and it is the World Finals. There is a lot on the line, so I think the clans will be feeling the pressure here, Woody.
Passing the mid-80s percentage point now. This is certainly a decent enough attack. Going to be a little bit lower than the overall average from other hits that we've seen so far, and this is going to be good news for Vatang that their base's defense have held up against such an experienced attacker like Eve Kale. His calling card starting off strong for Wars. For that Archer Queen to pass through to get as much damage as possible in on her. Looks like she will barely stand with a few more hit points up, but he has picked up a little bit of extra support with that perfectly precise spell strike.
Yes, a very valid point though, Woody, because even though he knew he didn't have enough lightning spells to take down the Queen, he does have headhunters, and they will be able to finish her off a lot easier. I like the use of the wall wrecker here to the left-hand side of the base as well. It's a very comfortable start in towards the town hall. Nothing really going to trouble the wall wrecker, and the pathing is perfect for the heroes, but the clan castle troops come out, and that will be a little bit distraction, but he should be able to get through this.
It's a lot of super minions, and that's actually pretty good news for Young Hun. He's got the poison to take them down, and that's no distraction worthy to protect that town hall even. The first star is claimed for this strike, and with plenty of freezes and ice golems along the top left edge, these hero dives have done perfectly what they needed to do, even triggering a tornado trap deep in the core of the base. Young Hun is going to be really happy with how things are going early on in this raid.
Definitely, especially when he has a lava balloon attack. The tornado trap can be huge for balloons. He does have to take out the expo on the left-hand side, so he will have to path to that. But here come the headhunters through the middle. Grand Warden's ability protects them perfectly, takes down the defending royal champion. They get to the Queen, finish her off straight away, and that will allow the balloons to cruise right on through.
Young Hun is grinding this base down. The last freeze is out. Only one more haste. The Loons have taken a mighty strike and are spreading out all around the base, but if they take down that wizard tower, they do. That's really great news for Young Hun, who just has to worry about that last remaining air defense. Get ready to pop that haste spell, lickety split. You gotta go fast, man. There's not much left, but can he do it?
Oh my God, hold it together. No, they go down. He was holding on to the haste with all of his might. The air defense only has a tiny little bit of health, Woody. The Grand Warden might be able to snipe it.
Oh, it's gonna go.
But can he get it? Is he gonna?
Yes!
Oh no!
He got the air defense, but he went down himself. The minions, they've got to stay away from traps. An air bomb comes out and explodes all but one minion.
One minion, but it's not going to be enough. 35 seconds, surely a minion can't get through 2 gold storages, which I'm pretty sure aren't damaged. Young Hun must be just so devastated. The red air bomb really at the perfect position here from Eve Mark.
These are just gonna be the longest 30 seconds of Young Hun's life. Desperate and unable to do anything to help out this poor last little minion. It is so close, but in the end, it's just not enough. Young Hun's cleanup will fall just a little short, as a smudge on the corner of the base will be the last little saving grace for Eve Mark. His whole career holding on to just this 2%. Wow.
A 98% 2-star from Vatang. I'm absolutely gobsmacked by what I've just seen. And I know that we've mentioned them already before, but the base builder from 11 Original must be rubbing his hands together going, oh, thank goodness for that. I cannot believe that. Right at the very end, that air bomb just managed to keep Vatang from getting that 3rd star, so it's still a percentage race between these two clans, Judo.
It certainly is, and 11 Original, even if they built that base to defend a lava balloon attack, surely they couldn't have foreseen that situation. Just incredible stuff. But it really does highlight the importance of the traps within the base and how things can change in an instant, Woody, not to celebrate too quickly.
Oh yeah, man, if you thought that traps are going to be just a throwaway thing to drop in there at the very end, you are not min-maxing the way that 11 Original does. Vatang coming in razor close without any defenses left, but time, always the factor, prevents that minion from getting the last few hits off, and Eve Muffin on top. The next striker for 11 Original needs to get the triple here now if he wants to put his team back ahead. He's brought another aerial dominating hit with Mass Dragons again. It's going to be rage spells this time to back up those big flying beasts, not going in for the bats this time around. He still has both a single and a multi-target Inferno to deal with after dropping those zaps early on, and a menacing air defense sits right next to that Eagle artillery in the bottom corner. Which corner do you expect him to attack from, Judo?
I think he's probably coming from that area along the southwest side because he did take a sweeper out, which I think was pointing in that direction, but now that he's deploying the dragons from the top, maybe the sweeper was pointing up to the north. I didn't quite see when we started the attack. Eve Muffin bringing the lightning spells in super quick, so maybe it was pointing to the north because he deploys the dragons direct to the town hall. And you're right, Woody, he does have to keep an eye on the back end air defense, but a tornado trap will hold him up here before he gets to the town hall.
2 dragons pass right to the outside, and with the Lava Hound coming back into the middle of the base, this is the worst news that Eve Muffin could have seen flashing across his screen. Archer Queen over on the left side does her best and barely manages to pop down the enemy Archer Queen, but will die herself to this Lava Hound unless this ability goes off perfectly. Eve Muffin has just taken a whopping smack straight to the face. He dropped a ton of dragons on this base, but the spread out damage is not concentrated at all. And this might be the lowest percentage hit of the war so far today.
Yeah, he got a little bit unfortunate with the Lava Hound as well, catching a bunch of other dragons. Now there's skeleton traps, which are distracting them. He's going to have to try and just send his Royal Champion in to get a bit more percentage. Finds a Tesla farm. Nothing going right for Eve Muffin. It is definitely not the attack they needed, and Vatang really could put the pressure on here with their next attack.
Skeleton trap dragging that Royal Champion out is just the icing on the cake for Vatang's defense. Young Hun licking his lips and happy that Muffin could not get the job done. Defense is holding up yet again. Not a single triple yet so far this war, but Vatang with a massive percentage lead are going to have that advantageous spot. Still holding on to that Eagle Artillery and air defense in the bottom corner. I thought they'd be tricky for Eve Muffin, but I didn't know that he would have this much trouble attacking the base.
Yeah, it didn't even get to the air defense, so it really didn't matter. And he is facing every single trap that there is. It is going to be the 2-star. It's only 75%, and it lowers their percentage damage even further now. So Vatang really must be rubbing their hands together and really wanting to put the pressure on with this next attack.
Cocked and loaded, but every time they've fired away, they've been off target. Will Lanzalotta be the man to make it happen for Vatang? He's got a lot of going for him. Let's see how things start off with this hybrid army, a strat that has not been one of the more popular ones so far today, but in historical terms, the hybrid army has been very successful. Going in on the ground, he's facing off against 2 single target Infernos. Not very scary for this army. As long as he can keep his heroes away from those singles, the miners and hog riders should be able to take them down with no problem at all. Brought a siege barracks, another popular pick to get some funneling done, probably along the top side corner here, just after this Archer Queen pops down the town hall. An early hit here with a jump spell. Interesting addition for Lanzalotta.
Yeah, very interesting to come in from the town hall area, out of the way of the single target Infernos. I think he brought the jump spell because it's a little bit tricky to funnel the queen in with the gaps in the wall. You really have to have that funnel set up correctly, whereas he can guarantee her onto the town hall with the jump spell. And if something goes wrong, it can be harder to adapt than it is to just commit the spell in the first place. So he gets the clan castle down. I think we should be seeing the hybrid relatively soon, Woody, but he's just taking his time at the moment, keeping things cool, calm, and collected, charging into the base.
Yeah, safe strike so far for Lanzalotta, and you gotta hope for his sake that he has got the right entry point here now. With so many buildings down on the left corner, he's gonna try to make a clockwise sweep around this base. Early Eternal Tome to protect these Hog Riders from that scatter shot, but there's still one deep far in the bottom left corner that could be a problem for him later on in the raid. 2 heal spells to top these piggies back off. Boom, a giant bomb goes off, and that's gonna trigger the first heal spell now from Lanzalotta, protecting as best he can. The Archer Queen's taking a lot of damage, and whoa! Big Tesla farm popping up around the scatter shot. That's going to be even more difficult to deal with later on.
He has to save the heal spell for that area. He uses it, maybe just wants to save as many Hog Riders and Miners and have pure force through the back end of the base. I think he made a good call using the Grand Warden's ability early, because you can see how many Hog Riders and Miners he has.
Oh my god!
Wow! Double giant bomb really does a massive amount of damage, and no heal spells now to bring them back up.
Double giant bomb and a bomb tower. 3 massive explosions for Eve Kala's defenses, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Lanzalotta coming in with amazing force to shut this base down. The heroes are all 4 standing tall. The Quadra domination. Lanzalotta gets the first 3-star of this war.
I think he was sweating a little bit when the giant bombs went off, but he held it together, pulls in the 3-star and puts Vatang well in the lead now, Banks.
An extremely powerful attack from Lanzalotta, managing to secure, like Woody has already said, the first triple of the war. So far, Vatang with an incredible 2 first attacks, a 98% 2-star and a 100% triple. 11 Original have a long way to go if they're to claw their way back in this war, Woody.
Lanzalotta is dropping a landslide on 11 Original, bringing the star count up to 5 and a percentage destruction of 99. 11 Original now are unable to come back with just 1 triple. They would need multiples on the tic-tac-toe. Last 3 hits, 11 Original need to be perfect now, as Vatang holds a commanding lead on both stars and percentage. But if anyone's got the 2020 sight to get it done, it's got to be Eve Vision, a new addition to this lineup, trying to come in where others have fallen. He needs to start this 3-star stampede immediately.
He certainly does, and he is a competitive athlete outside of Clash of Clans, competes in hockey and athletics, so he will be a man that can hold it together under pressure, and that is exactly what this situation is. They need to start bringing in 3-stars, otherwise it could easily slip out of their hands. We've seen the witches today, but Vision is coming in with these super witches, Woody.
German compatriots from Tribe Gaming completely shook up the offensive metagame earlier this year by bringing mass Super Witch armies and winning many wars back to back to back. That certainly has inspired Eve Vision to bring 5 of the Super Witches to this attack. They spawn those big boys and they have got a lot of firepower going deep through bases, but often fail not because they die, but because they run out of time. That means that this early Warden Walk from Eve Vision is the most important stage for this setup. As soon as these buildings on the right corner go down, expect to see those Super Witches quick dropped and going in for that Town Hall nice and early.
Yeah, there they come, and I think that was why we've seen a couple of balloons in that area as well, just to speed things up. Notice the King down to the bottom, early deployment of him as well, because another major factor for the Super Witches is if they do not go into the base and they walk around, so you really need to set up the funnel. Oh yeah, it is gone. I didn't see that one. Actually, I'm concentrating on the bottom. Is that going to be a big factor when you only have 5 of them? That's 20% of his army.
That is a huge slip up for Eve Vision. Didn't see that coming, and he is really going to be missing that Super Witch later on. Single target Inferno heating up on this Barbarian King, and he looks like he's in a lot of trouble. Pop that Eternal Tome and protect these troops as best you can, because a Gigabomb's about to go off. No! Doesn't use the Eternal Tome early on.
Yeah, he must just feel like he wanted to save that until a little bit later on in the raid. But I think you are right, Woody. He really needs to protect all of the Super Witches now because they need to continue spawning the big boys to keep them alive. But they are struggling. You mentioned time at the start, and we only have a minute left with still 50% of the base to go.
This feels like Casey at the bat. 11 Originals. Vision is just not putting in the pressure when he needs them to the most, hoping that they can just survive with such an incredible onslaught of defense bearing down on his attackers. He has somehow held his head together and is going to try to sweep through the top corner, but only 2/3 of the base is down, and there's still just 38 seconds left for the remaining cleanup. I think that there's just too many walls, too many exterior structures, too much still standing for 11 Original to finish it off with a triple.
I think you might be right. Base identification is pretty good because he has kept the witches alive when they got in the middle, but how crucial would the extra witch be? Just to get a little bit more DPS, protect a few more troops coming around the outside of the base. It's awfully close, but it's not what 11 Original need. They have to get a 3-star in order to start picking things up in this war.
Super Witches only fail to time, and that streak has held. E-Vision, though, does pick up a 2-star 94%. Just a sliver of base left, and so many times this has been the case in this war on both sides. 98% hits, 94% hits, just running out of time. What can these players do to speed things up and get that strike-ins quicker, Judo?
It's a tough balance, isn't it? Because you don't want to rush the deployment of your troops and have them go down or miss something crucial, but it really is getting the balance between how many troops you lose and how quickly you take the base down. It doesn't matter if you have a single archer at the end of the raid, as long as you get the buildings down. Warning is Vatang's MVP, as you might have seen before entering this attack, so he really could put this war virtually out of the way of 11 Original halfway through.
All right, I'm seeing a mass witch army rather than the super witches. It's targeted better against bases that don't have quite as much difficult splash damage to deal with, or if you can get the funneling done early on and spread those skeletons out all around the base, you can actually have a lot more DPS than just the regular super witches do. But there's a price to pay for that. The witches are a bit more vulnerable and brittle compared to the super witches. Don't have quite as many hit points. They get a big swarm, but it's not as much concentrated damage. So warning, it's not quite as much worried about the time fail here as he is about losing these super witches to an eagle artillery deep in the base and a scatter shot smash in their face.
In combination with the scatter shot as well, I think the Eagle would have took them down, so a very good use of the Grand Warden's ability helps them through, and you are totally right, Woody. It is all about keeping as many of them alive. The more witches you have, the more skeletons they are able to spawn, and the more DPS you have moving through the base.
No.
He's getting through here, but the tornado trap is slowing him down, and he's about to hit the town hall area as well. This could be crucial.
Oh, terrible misplay on the top section as a Wizard Tower and Expo take out 3 witches. A big chunk of Warning's offense has been annihilated even before he gets the Town Hall finished up. Finally pops through, but the jump spell is not carrying many more troops over the walls. It's just the heroes on the backside for the remaining cleanup. 1:10 left with 63% of the bases down, and that does not include a single target Inferno, an Eagle Artillery, a scatter shot. It's like the most terrifying structures are still standing tall. Warning is not going to get the 3-star he was hoping for here. Those witches just couldn't find the magic brew to get that triple.
So many crucial defenses left standing. Is this the first signs of Vatang feeling the pressure? The World Championship finals. We know they got through to the finals last year, but didn't make it through to the knockout stages. Further on in the competition, went down very early on. They're still in the lead, but if 11 Original could come back here, it could really flip the war in the favor of them and put Vatang on the back pedal.
Yeah, this has completely opened things up for 11 Original now. A middling 70% hit in the 2-star category for Vatang drags their hit rate down to just 33% starting off. 11 Original have done much better in the past, but just haven't found that triple yet today. Vatang holds an impressive 6% overall destruction lead, but if 11 Original can... I feel like I'm asking too much of them by asking for 2 triples back-to-back, but that's certainly not out of the realm of possibility for 11 Original, is it, Banks?
Well, just 1 star separates our 2 clans right now. Just 1 star. And like you've mentioned already, Woody, Warning making that average percentage slip down, and Vision putting up his own 94% 2-star is putting them back in the race. I don't think you're asking too much. I feel like there's definitely an opportunity there, but that average percentage needs to be caught up as much as possible by 11 Original, Judo.
It certainly does, and it needs to happen within this attack. There are no more chances really for 11 Original to make errors. They are a very tight-knit squad. They are almost family in terms of how they support each other. Eve Pazzi being a relatively new member of the team, the youngest member of the team, so I'm sure he will be getting a lot of support in order to prepare him for this event. But he has found an early Tesla farm. How does he deal with this, Woody?
He's going to have to maybe switch things up and try to get this Tesla farm down, because so much applied early on against his heroes might shorten the longevity of this Queen Walker on the bottom edge.
Tornado has the battle blimp, Woody. He wanted that in towards the town hall area by the looks of it. A black bomb goes off, and it is not getting there with a Springtrap in the area as well. He loses a Yeti. This is not the start Posse needed. Queen does fortunately read by direct in towards the single target Inferno, but he really needs to change up his plan now.
She's just distracted by the skeleton trap. Hasn't even fired against the single target Inferno yet at all. Finally gets the retarget, takes it down, but that's a double fail early on in this hit. The Siege Machine and those heroes not going where he needed them to, and Eve Posse spent a lot of time, 1:15, and hasn't even gotten the Hybrid Army down yet, Judo.
Yeah, and I think looking at the placement of the Scattershot and the Eagle, Eve Posse wanted to take out the Town Hall with the Battle Blimp, send the Hybrid in from the southeast side directly towards that area, but he has to flip things now, sending it into the Town Hall to secure the 2 stars, and it's going to be difficult to get the back end of the base, especially with the Queen now down as well.
Like a volcano exploding, the Lava Hound pups finish off that Archer Queen, and Eve Posse's hopes are diminished, withering away at these impressive defenses built up by Warning. Sound the alarm because the raid is just falling apart. Posse's got nothing left to add on but one more heal spell and a shield toss from this Royal Champion facing off against a defending Barbarian King. She won't even get the kill there. Defenses for Warning have demolished this strike, and 11 Originals' hopes of advancement are falling before their very eyes.
Very late on the heal spell there as well. He had to try and do something, but unfortunately just too many mistakes early on. Vatang showing their strength on offense, but also defense. 11 Original, as talented as they are, struggling against the builds of Vatang.
You will see once again as we move back out the look of despair on the faces of the 11 Original squad. Just like other teams before them that have failed to get a triple up on board, they have got to be asking themselves, what is going wrong? Such a talented crew, but the defenses from Vatang are just too much to overcome. And with only 1 triple on the board so far, Vatang might get the victory if they can hold their team together. Diff is looking confident here now with a double Laloon hit with over a couple dozen balloons ready to follow up, but I'm interested to see where the early strike is going to be coming in from these heroes. No healers to back them up, so it's just going to be a dive in probably at this right side corner to start this like reverse C-shaped push on the base.
Yeah, manages to take down one of the Scattershots, gets a lot of damage onto the Queen, and also managed to get a Lightning and Earthquake to the single target Inferno, which means the Royal Champion can finish that off with the Seeking Shield, and then hopefully finish off the Queen as well. Oh, must have missed the single target Inferno with the Lightning actually, but finishes it off with the Royal Champion anyway. Beautifully carves the right-hand side of the base, and we talked about the deployment of troops being slow or being really calm and collected. And I think at this stage, Diff has done a very good job breaking down the base.
Yeah, that right side corner has been shut down. Diff is going to get the bottom corner as well now with a Barbarian King champion with that flaming sword stabbing through the heart of this base and just wrecking it apart. Archer Queen to provide additional help is going to finish off that scatter shot, and with both of those down, really key, strong defenses from Eve Posse is no longer here to defend. Diff from Vatang is running a little bit low on time now, though. 1:15 into the hit, and he hasn't deployed the Lava Hounds yet, but he still has enough if he gets going quick here. Finds a Tesla farm in the middle, and that's a perfect target for the Royal Cloak on that Archer Queen. She finishes them all off, and will send in one lone balloon against that Air Sweeper. No, he's going to back it up with a Stone Slammer. It's just a coconut loop to try to catch a Seeking Air Mine.
He really needed to get the Air Sweeper, and the Stone Slammer has gone across to the Mortar, unfortunately. So that could be a bit of an issue. The Sweeper will continue to push the balloons back, take a bit more damage from the Town Hall. Stone Slammer is slowly moving in and should get that relatively soon. Now, with all of the troops now able to be deployed, the time can really start being caught up here with the percentage, Woody, as they get through the Town Hall. Grand Warden's ability used. Can they get to the multi ASAP?
This is not going to be the quickest kill that we've ever seen, but I'm pretty sure that Diff has got the final setup necessary to finish off for a 3-star. You are seeing the difference between good and great coming in from Vatang, shutting down this base with balloons spread out all over the place. There's not even one single lane of attack. He's hitting it from every single angle, and that's it. There's no defenses left. Diff has done it, wiping out the remaining structures. The 3-star is secured, and Vatang have all but guaranteed their advancement in the upper bracket.
I am in awe of this attack. The lava loon portion took, what was that, 30 seconds to wipe out the base. Vatang very much showing their strength here, Banks.
They are indeed. I mean, Diff managing to hit that nail just further and further into the coffin for Vatang, because they are now ahead by 2 stars going into the final attack. So, I mean, we always say it, but it's never impossible, but something extremely drastic has to happen now, with our next attacker being Eve Mark, about to try and make his mark for 11 Original by clutching the first triple for them in their war.
Yeah, I think that Eve Mark just needs to try and put up a 3-star to help 11 Original into the losers bracket now. It would take a major slip up for Vatang in order to give 11 Original a chance to win here. So I think just getting the 3-star is what they need to focus on in order to give them the best chance later on in the competition. But we are seeing the winning teams, Woody, getting around about that 13-star mark. It's an interesting bar that has been set by all of the teams.
Good point there, Judo. 11 Original have still got a tiny sliver of hope, though. If we look back at history, Vatang actually got a 9-star war in their opening salvo in 2019 World Finals, so they have slipped up before and gotten that 1-star strike. 11 Original just have to grit their teeth and hope that that's what happens in their last hit. If they manage to get a 3-star here, they'll pull up their percentage a bit, but even with that, Vatang have got such a massive lead on overall destruction that it is just slim pickings and not likely at all for Mark to be able to carry his team over the finish line.
Well, we have seen in the qualifiers people come from the lower bracket to win the competition, so 11 Original know they are still in this for the lion's share of the $1 million prize pool. With a beautiful path being set up for the Dragons, they are moving straight through the base, Woody, and I love the use of the battle blimp for the Town Hall. Surprised not to see the Grand Warden's ability. Looks like he's saving that for when the balloons come out. Beautiful play.
Yeah, late usage here, he's holding on to 6 bat spells, drops them all right on top of that scatter shot. Distraction from those wizard towers far away should be good. Actually, a dragon's pathing away now, and those bats might be in trouble. Requires the freeze spell now, but Eve Mark looks like he might just have found the secret sauce to find that 3-star strike. Whether you're a Michelin eater or a Clash of Clans defeater, the 3 stars is what you're looking for, and Eve Mark has finally found it, gobbling up the last remaining defenses. Over a minute for cleanup. Mark is going to seal it off with the last hundo for 11 Original. Finishes off with a free spell swagged in the center of the base. What a statement to make here, Judo.
Exactly what they needed, because moving down to the lower bracket, finishing with a 3-star and just having, I guess, a little bit of momentum moving into that matchup has got to be helpful, and that will hopefully keep 11 Originals chins up for that later matchup. We don't know who they're going to be playing yet. We will find out in the next matchup. It is Nishang Dance versus the Queen Walkers, but Vatang will be wanting to get a 3-star as well, because earlier on in the stream, we did see alternate attacks winning with 13 stars. Existence winning with 13 stars. Vatang will want to keep the pressure up to make sure that whoever they face tomorrow will have their eyes on them.
Doesn't even require a 2-star to advance, though. The 1-star and 48% would be enough for Key Barros. He's going to attack on the top left side, though, to go early on at this Town Hall. A loon parade out in front of the Dragons, trying to catch any seeking air mines. I see 2, 3 coming out. Really great news for Keep Zero, as these Dragons are well insulated behind a wall of big black balloons.
perfect news because he was able to save onto the Grand Warden's ability, which is now used to get through the Town Hall. Actually caught another Black Bomb as well. Eve Vision really holding up that area. There is another one going off, so the Dragons can be pretty clear through the rest of the base. It's really if they can get to the air defense and the single target Inferno on the back of the base. They're struggling in the middle, Woody, and taking huge damage from the Eagle Artillery.
Baby's Black Balloon makes her fly, and Kibiros will fly as well. His opponent might be the original, but he has turned it up to 11, and Vatang will be moving on in the upper bracket of the Clash of Clans World Championship.
They can breathe a sigh of relief. The attack did not go how they wanted, but securing the 2-star, flying into the Town Hall, meant that it was enough to put them through, and they can definitely have their heads held high moving to tomorrow. They don't have to worry about any more matches today, but it will be 11 Original that now has to fight back in the lower bracket. Let's see what percentage they can finish off with. Vatang, though, I've got to say, very strong, not just on offense, but also defense, Woody.
Absolutely, and across the board too, defense is holding on for these Warriors. I guess that it was just our expectations from the monthly finals that we were looking forward to seeing 14 and 15 Star Wars. Offense for these squads has been so incredible in the past, but you know that they've been spending weeks on weeks to develop the perfectly defensible bases that will deny even the best in the world. That is the storyline so far for all three victors, defending against attackers who just couldn't even pass the 11-star mark here. 11 Original despondent now as they get kicked down to the lower bracket, but it's not even a big celebration yet for Vatang. They're moving on up top, but they've got a long road left ahead of them, Banks.
They do indeed. The winner of that war is Vatang, as that lovely balloon flies across your screen with their banner behind in tow. I don't need to remind you that you really have to be pulling out all of the stops from start to finish if you stand a chance at the trophy. You really have to. But a brilliant performance from Vatang, that 12, 11 stars, and that really high average percentage as well. Judo, they've got to be happy with that.
They certainly do. It was a closer war than what we could have anticipated given the opening attacks. So 11 Original definitely will be able to move into the next matchup being happy. But Vatang, they are done for today. You see that extra 3-star really being the difference maker, and so close with that 98% as well.
Yes, indeed. You can see on your screens that Group B, you have Vatang going